Now, a bit of background about Ravinder. I've kept these backgrounds quite short. She's an educationalist, the chair of Religions for Peace UK Women of Faith Network, a Sikh representative on the Religious Leaders of Scotland Forum, and a former convener of Interfaith Scotland. So we've known Ravinder for many years. And Ravinder recently received the Religions for Peace Lifetime Service Award for Multi-Religious Peacebuilding at an event organised by the Ansari Institute for Global Engagement with Religion and Religions for Peace International at the Parliament of the World Religions in Chicago. So lovely to have you here this evening, Ravinder, and we look forward to what you have to share with us.
Thank you, Francis. It's good evening, sisters and brothers. It's an honor and a privilege to be part of this Women and Leadership event. During the centuries, women haven't been given many opportunities to lead and have leadership roles. They've had to fight for their rights and still are in many parts of the world. However, as a Sikh woman, I have been fortunate to have many role models from the past, and that Guru Nanak Dev Ji, the founder of the Sikh religion, over 550 years ago, exalted the status of women and gave them a place of honor. He and the 9 gurus who came after him challenged those who considered women inferior. They all saw women as the guardians of a spiritual society. And a quote from Guru Nanak Dev Ji: "In a woman, man is conceived. From a woman, he is born. With a woman, he is betrothed and married. With a woman, he contracts friendship. If one dies, another one is sought for. Man's destiny is linked to woman. Why call her inferior who gives birth to humankind?" He said that God's divine light is in both men and women, so why should women be considered inferior? Quote, "The Creator pervades in all genders, so why should we belittle women and consider them lowly?" Throughout the 239 years of the development of the Sikh religion, the Sikh gurus were aware that if society was to be spiritually uplifted, then women were the ones to bring about that change. As mothers, women inculcate values of love, compassion, respect, selfless service, and humility in a child, and they are the first educators and role models for a child. Now, the Sikh gurus, the Sikh faith is a bit different from every other religion in that it developed over 239 years. Now, the Sikh gurus taught equality of women by embedding their teachings with practical applications and exalted women's status to one of honor and dignity. At a time when women in all parts of the world were treated as either third class, very lowly citizens. For example, the Sikh congregation, or the Sangat as we call it, was open to both men and women, with women taking part in prayers, leading, reading, and reciting scripture. Guru Nanak Dev Ji also welcomed women to Pangat, or the langar. The Sikh institution of langar, or a free community meal, symbolized the equality of humanity, as everyone, and if you have been to the Gurdwara, we all sit together and eat together, regardless of caste, color, gender, creed, or religion. And men and women work together in the langar, carrying all types of work. That when work of women was considered, like cooking and cleaning and looking after a place of worship, was considered to be lowly and not the type of work that men did. But the Guru ensured that men and women worked in the langar. So using this institution, the Gurus showed the importance of women's contribution to the welfare of society. And the third Guru, Guru Amar Das Ji, trained and appointed a large number of women and put them in charge of large areas of India in which they had complete religious jurisdiction. And the fifth Guru raised the status of a woman as a wife. And quote, "She is the most noble of all family. She counsels and advises the elders and youngsters. How blessed is that household in which she has appeared. In my home, she is my leader. She is the ruler, and God has made us her courtiers." And the sixth Guru, Guru Har Gobind Ji, called women the conscience of man, who would guide him through life. And the image of women was further enhanced by the 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, who declared that the Amrit, initiation or baptism ceremony, should be open to both men and women. And on initiation, both men and women have to keep the 5 articles of faith. And that is Kesh, long hair; Ganga, a small wooden comb; Kada, an iron bangle; Kashera, a special pair of shorts; and a Kirpan, a small sword. On taking Amrit, once you become the part of the community of baptized Sikhs called the Khalsa, men have to have a religious name called Singh, which means lion, and women Kaur, which means princess. So a Sikh woman was shown to be an individual in her own right and did not have to take her husband's name upon marriage. The wives, mothers, sisters of the Gurus have been great role models. They helped to create a new social consciousness in Sikh women, which sometimes I think has been lost through the ages. So I'd like to just tell you a little bit about 3 women who have inspired me. I get inspiration from Mata Kiwiji, the wife of the 2nd Guru. She is the only woman mentioned in the Holy Sikh scriptures, the Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Mata Kiwiji continued with langar started by Guru Nanak Dev Ji. She distributed the bounty of the Guru's langar with kheer, or rice pudding, which was like ambrosia to all who ate it. Now, she embodies the Sikh teachings of caring for others and being concerned for the welfare of all. The God-conscious being delights in doing good deeds for others. The God-conscious being acts for the common good. And I get inspiration from Princess Sophia Dalip Singh, the daughter of Maharaja Dalip Singh, who was the son of the first Sikh ruler of the Punjab. She was a member of the Women's Social and Political Union. She campaigned for votes for women nationally, as well as locally in Richmond and Kingston upon Thames. Princess Sophia, on 18th November 1910, led a 400-strong demonstration to Parliament, together with Emmeline Pankhurst. Now, there have been many inspirational women throughout the centuries, but the Sikh woman who has most inspired me is Mata Bhag Kaur. She was courageous, strong, spiritual, and not afraid to challenge men and guide them to follow the right path. She grew up during the lifetime of the 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, in the late 1600s, early 1700s. During a fierce battle, Guru Gobind Singh Ji and his Sikhs had been under siege for many weeks. 46 who were with the Guru asked to leave the fort. Guru Gobind Singh Ji said they could leave if they gave it in writing that he was no longer their Guru. When the 46 returned to their villages, their wives and families were furious that they had left their Guru in the middle of a battle. Mata Bhag Kaur told the deserters to sit at home and look after the children, while the women were going to go back and fight with the Guru. Ashamed of leaving the Guru, the 46 went back with Mata Kaur to help him. The 46 died during the battle, in which she was injured as well. Now, this story reminds me that I have to stand up for justice and uphold righteousness with strength and courage. That as a mother, I have to be a role model and a spiritual guide for my children and grandchildren and help them along the right path. As a member of the human family, I have to speak out when there is injustice around the world. And as a compassionate human being, I have to help the vulnerable and poor, be a voice for the voiceless, and make a difference in the world. Thank you.